Well, what I do realize is that as of right now, no other Chicago Sky game have been moved to the United Center, except for one, Indiana.
This time, Angel Reese is furious because her team, the Chicago Sky, completely ignored her and threw her under the bus. She asked reporters why only Caitlin Clark games were moving to the United Center, obviously perplexed as to why her own team doesn't receive the same star treatment. But let's face it, Angel may not like the answer, but it's pretty simple. People are flocking to see Caitlin, not her. And that's the kind of truth that hits harder than a blocked layup.
Speaking of United Center, it'll also play host to a pair of WNBA games for the first time this season. The Sky announcing their matchups, hosting the Indiana Fever. Will be moved from Wintrust to the UC, has about double the capacity, so more tickets available to watch Caitlin.
Observe how organizations rush to get larger arenas when a rookie enters the league and immediately sets attendance records. It should appeal to the masses. That's commerce, not hype. In contrast, the Chicago Sky, even with Angel Reese, didn't sniff that number, but for some reason, Reese believes they're both creating the same buzz. Bless her heart. Last season, Caitlin Clark didn't just fill Gainbridge Fieldhouse. She busted it wide open, drawing in nearly 341,000 fans, an all-time franchise record.
What looks like the Chicago Sky have finally done what we've been asking for, which was to schedule the games against the Fever at the United Center. And also, in case you weren't already aware, the United Center is the biggest basketball arena in the country. Both home games against the Fever have been scheduled at the United.
Let's discuss the issue at the United Center. When the Chicago Sky announced that they would only be moving 2 games for the 2025 season to the enormous arena with 21,000 seats, guess what? Both games just so happened to be against the Indiana Fever. Please note that this isn't a haphazard scheduling choice. Rather, the front office is making it very evident who the true draw is.
Caitlin coming to town, man, all these teams are going to cash in on that. It's just the nature of the business at this point. One fan saying, let's go Fever, taking over the United Center. I can't wait. The Angel Reese effect, no. They know better than to leave free money on the table when the face card comes to town. Yeah, man, because we remember last time Caitlin Clark was there, bro, the arena erupted.
The Sky played all of the 2024 season at Wintrust Arena, which can accommodate just over 10,000 people. This includes every home game that Angel Reese played. At no point did they feel the need to switch locations, not even when Reese was allegedly blazing the league with her TikTok stardom and rebounding dominance. However, with Caitlin Clark arriving in town, it's time to double capacity.
It seems the Chicago Sky have had to move 2 of their home games to a larger facility, a larger basketball facility. I'm sure, no doubt, this is the Angel Reese effect. I've got no doubts, no qualms. There's nothing. She even told me herself right here that it's not just one other player, it's because of her.
Adam Fox, the president of Sky, attempted to smooth things up by claiming that this move was about rewarding fans' passion. That sounds adorable, but if it were really about Sky fans, you'd think they'd upgrade for more than 2 games. In reality, though, it's about packing the house when Caitlin Clark enters the court.
One of the hottest tickets in the WNBA, Caitlin Clark coming back to the city that she owns, coming back to Chicago. After Chicago gave her such a warm welcome last year, they threw Barbie night for Caitlin Clark's arrival. They gave her pink towels. The fans were lined up on the side. She was signing autographs. How is Chicago going to welcome Caitlin Clark this next year around? How are they going to top Barbie night in a 9,000 seat arena? Well, easy. We moved Barbie night to a 21,000 seat arena.
And let's not act as like this isn't a wise financial decision. The United Center isn't just larger, it's also more profitable. Demand exists, but only when Clark is present. That's capitalism, not favoritism. Bets are being placed in seats by Caitlin Clark. In the meantime, Angel Reese continues to question why her average stat line isn't packing arenas. The league has spoken, and the data is unmistakable.
This is the motion that the Indiana Fever / Caitlin Clark.
Not just the Chicago Sky is choosing daring locations. Looking around the WNBA, you'll begin to see a recurring pattern. The Washington Mystics, the Connecticut Sun, Las Vegas Aces, Atlanta Dream, Dallas Wings, and the same strategic decision to move their games against the Indiana Fever to larger arenas. Whether you're wondering whether this is merely a coincidence of scheduling, it's not. It's about one guy, one name, not about arbitrary dates or team rivalries. Caitlin Clark.
Clark and Fever games getting moved to bigger venues on the road is normal at this point in time. We see it happen quite often whenever that Fever show comes to town. But in this case, it is interesting considering the opponent and considering the venue.
And the online response, to put it mildly, fans aren't particularly discreet about the true meaning of this. People are beginning to notice that Angel Reese's matchups aren't generating the same degree of enthusiasm, and not a single one of her games has prompted a venue upgrade, which is why social media was ablaze with queries and criticism about why only Clark games are receiving VIP treatment. It's caused some to wonder if Angel is really as well-liked as she is, as she frequently asks why she doesn't receive the same star treatment.
My goodness. America's team versus a team who has the person who is the scourge of society. Oh, God. Oh, man. Quote, they watch for me, too. Barbie night? Which one is Barbie night? You got to think one of the two is going to be Barbie night, right? Look at this. Laughing my ass off. Caitlin is really giving every single team a fundraising game. I am weak. My GOAT is simply different.
Angel Reese went out of her way to portray herself as Caitlin Clark's equal in popularity and impact throughout the entire season. She even claimed that people were tuning in for her. Not just Caitlin, but that obviously someone forgot to inform the ticketing department, because when it comes time to pack the house, all roads lead to Clark. The irony of it all is nearly too much.
Be moving to the United Center. So that's significant in the sense of it will be the first games ever played by WNBA teams in the United Center. The game's on Saturday, June 7th and Sunday, July 27th. One had a date change, but they will be moving to the largest capacity arena in the NBA. You know, more than double, I believe, what the Sky's typical home arena is able to hold. And of course, I mean, this is a duh for so many reasons.
The real issue for Rhee is that if she had the same pull, the Sky would have moved at least one game for her. Otherwise, her own team would be using her name to fill more seats. And now it's getting really awkward because when they announced their plans to host the Fever at the United Center twice, you'd think they were promoting the championship, but no, they're just doing what the numbers demand.
The reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize.
Although Angel is busy promoting herself in interviews and viral TikToks, the rest of the WNBA is telling a different story about her being a co-star in the league's development. According to the receipts, silently adhering to the one name that constantly produces outcomes, which is Caitlin Clark.
We'll say this. It's because of Angel Reese. They can't say this because of Angel Reese. Because for the simple fact, a lot of their games would have moved to bigger arenas if that was the case. They can't not say this. I know people want it. And, I know people be mad about this, bro. Y'all shouldn't be mad about this, bro. This is just the reality of the situation. You're not a hater. You're not none of that if you say Angel's not as big as Caitlin. Because she's not, guys. That's the reality of it all, bro.
Let's put it simply, because the scoreboard is honest. If Reese were attracting Clark-level attention, her games would be dominating the box office, and they would be rushing to get every Sky home game into the United Center to sell out in a matter of hours. But that isn't the case. The arena remains the same, and the attendance remains average.
Folks, last year, the Indiana Fever were in Chicago, and a lot of us were asking, why aren't they putting this in the big arena? Are they really that stubborn that they're ready to just turn away dollars just for a narrative? seems as if they got their end of their year report, looked at the bottom line and said, you know what? Slam shut. In 2025, we're going to be in the United States.
Compare that to the home crowd statistics for the Fever and their game in 2024. Indiana not only broke the previous single-season record for the WNBA by an astounding 36%, but they completely destroyed it. That record had stood since 2001, long before Angel was even considering pro contracts or zero deals. Caitlin broke the entire gauge, not just the needle.
And the Fever are going to be over 200,000 higher than the next highest total attendance in league history. Clarkonomics, my friend!
And this is the truth. During that season, Indiana reached the 20,000 attendance mark 3 times, packing arenas as though they were playoff series in July. But in Chicago, the largest crowd the Sky has ever handled didn't occur during Angel's rookie season. Rather, it was set in 2016, when Angel was still in high school and most likely still learning how to make a free throw. Since then, almost 16,000 spectators have come to see the Sky turn to sparks. Crickets.
Guys, I'm telling you, when Caitlin Clark comes to town, put it in the big arena because she is box office and it is going to be big money. Big, full. Not even just the ticket sales, merchandise sales, concession stands, parking. Dude, they are racking in money from every area when Caitlin Clark comes to town. So, of course, the Chicago Sky, oh, fine. I guess I'll milk that well until it's...
As Angel Reese keeps pushing for her own relevance teams, the NBA is demonstrating to us where the real attention is. Clark isn't just packing arenas. She's redefining what success in the NBA looks like. Angel can continue posting, talking, and spinning stories, but the fans have already taken notice. Choice, and it's very obvious who they're attending based on those ticket sales and venue improvements.
A very thin line between hate and facts. And what I believe to be the case is that there was incremental growth in the WNBA comparatively to the exponential growth we are seeing now. What I'm about to tell y'all, I haven't heard before, so I doubt you have either. Before the 2023 season, the WNBA had grown by 40% viewership from 2022 to 2023. But with Caitlin Clark's arrival, it's grown by 400% viewership. What that means...
When you look at the actual numbers, the contrast becomes absolutely hilarious. Every time Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese shared the court last season, ticket demand skyrocketed. We're not just talking about a few dollars more tickets were being resold for thousands as fans fought to see the face-off live. However, when Reese played games without Clark crickets, those ticket prices didn't change much, and the urgency simply wasn't there. It's as if the hype walked out with Clark. Want to see a Sky game next season? Find inexpensive tickets, such as last-minute tickets to a band that no one actually listens to anymore. In the meantime, good luck obtaining a Fever ticket, since they have been sold out for months.
Yeah, let me tell you about Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark has brought so many eyes to women's basketball that it's amazing. A dude named Acho, I forgot his first name, is something Acho.
Emmanuel Acho.
Yeah. He showed how in 5 days before the draft, she made the WNBA more money than they would have made in the next 5 years without.
The story is told by the attendance statistics alone. The average attendance at Angel Reese's games last season was around 9,000, which isn't bad until you consider that Caitlin Clark and the Fever were drawing close to 17,000 fans per game, which is almost twice as many, and that she wasn't just bringing the crowd home. The Fever attracted 36% more fans on the road than any other WNBA team. When you consider that wherever Clark went, fans followed, the WNBA itself said that Caitlin Clark was in charge of. Making more than 25% of the league's revenue last year isn't a small bump. It's a one-woman economic stimulus package. Now, let's be clear. This isn't about disparaging Angel's game. She has talent and fans, but when someone keeps saying that they're equally important to the growth of sports and the receipts demonstrate otherwise, it gets difficult to ignore the gap. You can't claim to be the face of the league and then find it difficult to fill half as many seats as the person you're comparing yourself to. In reality, it's something you prove, not something you can manifest confidently.
Again, as of right now, to my knowledge, what I've seen, No other Angel Reese games have been moved due to potential attendance for said game. I mean, I'm just pointing that out. I'm not sure if you're allowed to. I've been told, Angel Reese told us it was because of her too. They're coming because of me. Are they?
If one player can sell twice as many tickets and increase every team's revenue simply by showing up, that's not favoritism. That's economics. Chicago isn't playing favorites. Instead, they're playing smart. When your bottom line is on the line, you follow the dollars, and those dollars are currently flowing to Caitlin Clark like moths to a flame.
See other teams doing this for other players. They're doing it for Caitlin Clark because they know Caitlin Clark is bringing the bacon. She's bringing the bacon, but this is great.
What appeared to be a one-off by the Sky soon turned out to be a component of a much larger movement. It goes beyond Chicago. The Washington Mystics not only upgraded, but they moved their Fever game to Baltimore's CFG Bank Arena, which can accommodate close to 15,000 fans from Connecticut, and the entire league is taking notice. These costly choices, which are driven by the Caitlin Clark effect, are not coincidental. They rescheduled their matchup with Clark to Boston's TD Garden, where the Celtics play.
CC hype is real. Is this the Caitlin or Angel effect? Stop it. Caitlin Clark effect. GOAT. Let's go see what the Fever fans got to say. I mean, seriously, the Angel Reese effect. Sarcasm. Every venue CC plays in, the Caitlin Clark effect.
The best part is that Clark foresaw this change over a year ago.
I'm surprised we're not playing at the United Center. I thought that would have been really good for the game and really good for all the women's basketball fans in Chicago. So maybe there's a conflict of some sort that I don't know about. Obviously, that's a little above my pay grade. But we're excited, you know.
She remarked in passing after one of her games that larger arenas might be beneficial for women's basketball. Now that the casual statement has evolved into a model, teams all across the league are rushing to follow. The financial impact is crazy between the two United Centers. No ego, no expectations, just a reasonable comment about what could help the game flourish. In comparison to what Winrest Arena would bring in, games against the Fever are worth an additional $4 million. That's $4 million from 2 games for a league that has struggled with profitability for years. It's not a cherry on top. It's a financial lifeline. Math, not hype, indicates that Caitlin Clark is not just transforming women's basketball, but also preserving it.
Remember, the Washington Mystics also moved 2 of their games yesterday, too. I wonder if those were Angel Reese games. Oh, they weren't. They weren't Angel Reese games. They were Indiana Fever games. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I didn't do.
League executives look at these numbers and see a long-term commercial potential rather than a passing fad. Franchises who were previously operating on thin margins now have a clear route forward. TO, economic expansion. The crucial issue is not whether they ought to take advantage of Caitlin Clark's enormous appeal, but rather how quickly they can reserve bigger venues before rivals do. In sharp contrast, Angel Reese's off-court endeavors provide a different image. She didn't break any attendance records in the unmatched 3x3 league, and Clark's presence caused venues to shift across several cities. Reese hasn't achieved equivalent commercial success despite her star power.
She is just not a needle mover like Caitlin Clark is. Now, is she a great player? Yes, she is phenomenal. But she is not Caitlin Clark. She's not even nowhere near on Caitlin level. She's not on her level financially. She's not on her level impact-wise. And she damn sure ain't on her level on the basketball court. Because we seen that happen last year when Caitlin won Rookie of the Year. Like, it's okay, bro. It is okay for her to be second fiddle.
As expected, there have been differing opinions among fans regarding these venue modifications. Reese supporters accuse Clark of favoritism, while Clark supporters emphasize the indisputable economics. The argument of why Angels games were never relocated to larger arenas was hilariously summarized in one widely shared tweet when she was setting records, but as soon as Clark arrives in town, they suddenly require 20,000 seats. This viewpoint ignores the fact that ticket demand not only record-breaking, influences these economic decisions. A different supporter replied, "Maybe if Angel focused less on who's getting attention and more on developing a reliable jump shot, she wouldn't have to worry about venue sizes." These remarks demonstrate the close examination and contrasting views of the fan base. A resident from Chicago provided a more impartial perspective. "I've been a Sky supporter for years, but I was unable to purchase tickets for the Fever games last season. Now that I have United Center, I can truly understand why expanding access to women's basketball is a negative thing." This opinion highlights the wider advantage of extending locations to meet rising demand.
Bringing more and more fans to this league, people that have maybe never watched the WNBA before, and it kind of takes your breath away at points.
Basketball experts advise that Angel would benefit from accepting the competitive aspect of the league and concentrating on improving her skills rather than drawing comparisons, even though she presents herself as an equal draw Caitlin. Not if people also keep an eye out for Angels, but rather weather. Instead of using this as fuel for complaints, she will use it as incentive to get better. Sometimes, the hardest reality to face is the one that is represented in attendance and box scores. If you concur, please let us know in the comments by subscribing and turning on all notifications to ensure you don't miss anything.